Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, we're showing you guys some newly discovered secret messages in Halo Infinite that are actually hidden on a bunch of UNSC weapons. So, let's get right into it and take a look. And let's start with the battle rifle. So, first off, all the weapons in Halo Infinite are extremely detailed, and there's a lot of really interesting things on them. So, with the battle rifle in particular, you could see that there's a label here with a code next to it. And it almost looks like a QR code, but it's not quite a QR code actually. It is actually a very obscure kind of 2D matrix barcode, and it is actually called a dot code. Now, dot codes, well, they're not very commonly used actually. In fact, I can only find one single app on the Google Play Store that could read a dot code. And when I used the app to scan a screenshot of that dot code, we get the text EOS Chasma, or EOS Chasma. That is actually not meaningless. It actually is a location, a real location on Mars called EOS Chasma. And in the lore of Halo, EOS Chasma is one of the locations of the Mizraia Armory where a lot of UNSC weapons are manufactured. So that's actually it's actually like a manufacturer label, so to speak. It's actually pretty interesting. A little bit. It's like a mini lore Easter egg on the weapons, or a way like attention to detail. Actually, in this case. Now, next up we have the Bulldog. This one has actually quite a few labels on it, and a lot of barcodes and stuff. So we're gonna scan all of them in a bit. But the first two, we have little on the right of this label here. There's a little. It looks like a regular barcode. And unfortunately, that particular barcode, it's too blurry to scan, and we were unable to clean it up enough to scan it. So it doesn't seem to be anything. But, you know, if you guys can figure it out and scan it, then, you know, more power to you guys. And just let me know the results if you actually figure it out, if you guys get that barcode working. But the other one on that label is the same dot code as with the BR, and it still, you know, translates to EOS Chasma. But also on the Bulldog, towards the other side of it, we have another interesting code here, or barcode or label, whatever. And, well, I've never really seen one like that initially, but it kind of looked familiar to me. It actually looked familiar to my friend too, who helped me out with this. And we just couldn't put our finger on it, but we decided to try to figure it out and run it through a bunch of scanners. But first, we decided to try to clean up that barcode, or that label. And it went through quite a process of cleaning it up. We inverted the colors a bit, we made it grayscale, and made the image a little bit sharper as well. And we finally get this. So this might start looking a little bit more familiar to you guys. Maybe if we add this little circle, this little bullseye circle to it, then that would look very familiar to you. If it looks familiar to you now, then that's because on every UPS shipping label, there will be this type of barcode on it, so that, you know, the UPS delivery people can scan it. And if we run it through a maxi code scanner, because that's the type of code it is, we get CQS4A combat shotgun. So that was a heavily modified maxi code label, and yeah, it's actually pretty cool that they used it, because it's pretty obscure and it's not usually used for anything but shipping. But there we have it. So next up we have the assault rifle, and on the assault rifle, towards this part of it, there is a very tiny, what looks like a QR code, but it's actually a data matrix code. And unfortunately, right off the bat, it was just too blurry to scan. And, well, it was, you know, there's too much stuff there. So we went through another bit of a process to try to clean it up a bit, make it clearer, sharper, and of course we inverted the colors again. And this is what we get. And this, we could actually finally scan. So once we scan it, it did take my the scanner on my phone a bit to scan it, to kind of pick it up, but eventually it did, and we got MA40 assault rifle. So you kind of seen the trend now. These are all like lore messages on the weapons, or more of attention to detail. And, you know, instead of like putting like an actual secret message or like a joke message or something, 343 just actually put like, you know, something lore related onto the weapon via these really obscure and unusual barcodes, QR codes, and so on. So the next weapon, the pistol, it has a little code in the top there, but I don't think that's an actual like label that could be scanned or anything. But if you guys want to try and figure something out, you know, feel free and just let me know in the comments if you figure it out as well. But next one we're going to be taking a look at is the sniper rifle. This one has a pretty standard barcode there, and there's really nothing else on it. So we're just going to scan that one barcode on the sniper, and you can probably guess what it's going to scan to, which is the S7 sniper. And that particular barcode is a code 128 barcode. So next up we have the Commando. Now this is an interesting weapon as far as the little hidden messages on it go. So right here we have a, well, it's not really like a barcode or anything. Let me give you guys a better look at it. It's a bunch of dots, and it looks like, you know, big dots and small dots all lined up next to each other. And you know, that's obviously not a barcode, not any I've seen before, or any like data matrix code, but it does have, you know, like the small dot and the long dot. So at first I thought it might have been Morse code, you know, dots and dashes. So I ran it through a Morse code translator, and some of it's not even valid Morse code, but the rest of it that kind of is valid Morse code, it just comes out to this, which is pretty meaningless and it's pretty much nothing. And I thought maybe it's binary code, but at the same time it's not organized like how binary code should be. You know, those dots and dashes are in groups of 5, but nonetheless I thought run it through binary code anyways, just to see what it comes up with. And again, it's pretty much nothing, just random symbols and stuff that don't translate to anything. So the sniper code, I guess, is a mystery for now, but if anyone figures it out or has more insight on it, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. But aside from that, those are all the little lore Easter egg messages on a lot of UNSC weapons. It's actually pretty interesting attention to detail that 343 put into the UNSC weapons in Halo Infinite. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and found it to be interesting, and if you did, then as always, make sure to leave a like. I'll leave your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if there's anything else we can check out, look into, or if you figure anything else out about these codes. And aside from that, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys.